thought it was called Unify. You know what I'm saying? When you actually encourage the black man to actually embetter himself as opposed to redirecting himself and, causing a generational curse that's been continuously going on. So what you have is an individual who actually speaks of a program that he actually has. You then have someone who's, a high public figure in this world, and it's sort of kind of like he's being controlled by the media to dictate how the young black man elaborated himself from his perspective, meaning his outlook on how black people as a whole should elevate as opposed to waiting for compensation of any such thing from the government. His basic thing is we should create our own government system where we depend on self. That was his whole demeanor. That was his mission. But yet, when you have a certain public figure in this world, I feel like we tend to allow those public figures to run a specific narrative that would continue the struggles of black people. If you don't believe me, just watch.
Not my issue to fight. I believe.
So what's your issue to fight?
My issue, I fight for young black men before they die. And that's what I do in my organization. I do teach them to vote, but I don't tell them that voting is going to be the be-all, end-all.
No one says the be-all, the end-all, but it's a part of it.
But you guys promote voting like it's just going to change like the systemic outlook of the black community. That's not where it's at. We have to get out and go do for self in our own communities.
So define do for self.
When I say do for self, you shared one of my tweets, my videos, and I was actually a big fan of yours, but you shared one of my tweets when I said black people need to stop begging the government and go and do for self out in our communities. You shared the video and called me an idiot. I didn't see anything idiotic about that statement at all.
So when you say do for self, like what? Mm-hmm. Explain that.
Okay, for example, here in Albany, Georgia, we complain about our school systems a lot. Many of our young men can't read. They have very horrible literacy rates. We don't have any rehab programs here for juvenile offenders. What I decided to do, I started a program 2 years ago, decided to do for self, and I started taking children into my home. I started taking custody of kids from juvenile court, and I started molding them and training them and teaching them skilled trades, etc. Now I'm 21 years old. I just purchased a school here in Albany, Georgia to combat us being in the government-funded schools that are not teaching our children what they